The first decline of Western civilization was excellent at capturing a specific time for punk in Los Angeles. Only a few years later did the second movie capture the same Los Angeles, but with a different scene. This time, metal, hard rock, and glam were the rage. Since the first movie in 1981, a lot of the clubs that were playing punk were starting to play rock and metal. Penelope Spheris liked seeing the crowds on the Sunset Strip, so she made a second movie. What was documented could be described as the real-life Spinal Tap, with partying, groupies, drugs, its share of empty-headedness, and a huge zest for life. Let's look at the list of participants. Alice Cooper, Lemmy Kilmister, Aerosmith, Kiss, Ozzy Osbourne, Megadeth, Poison, Seduce, London, Odin, Faster Pussycat, and Lizzie Borden. Now, where was Guns N' Roses during this thing? They couldn't make the movies, so Seduce was added in, passing through from Detroit. I wonder if Quiet Riot or Motley Crue would have been good fits to keep it 100% LA. Or, what if the death and grind scene had a small section in the movie, and Terrorizer was added in? Anyway, the movie starts with Gene Simmons saying,
"The most vocal fans all the time are heavy metal fans. They're the best. I salute them."
Motorhead plays over the credits as the audience goes wild, and the same disclaimer that was used in the first movie is here.
Attention everybody!
Please be advised,
By your entry upon these premises,
you are consenting to being photographed and filmed
and having your ugly likeness
and sound effects used in motion pictures and
home porno and other purposes.
Thank you, and give us your money.
In this documentary, it's less about the music and concert footage and focuses more on the fans and the band's lifestyles. Generally, they all had the same spirit of having fun and freeing yourself in the music.
My mom still thinks I'm going through a phase in my life. And that she says, why don't you come home and cut your hair, like the little boy I used to know.
The fans talk about the music, the makeup, and life at the rock clubs.
So why do you guys come to Cat House?
Fucking rocks, bitches.
Rock and roll, heavy metal.
Meanwhile, the bands talk about competing with the other bands by handing out flyers, trying to have bigger stage shows, and trying to get signed.
During the day we would rehearse, and at night we'd go to clubs, and hand stuff out. We'd try to look all cool and stuff, and just, hey, yeah, come on out and see the band, putting all our flyers up, wallpapering it, and along would come another band, and they'd cover it up, and then you'd sneak back, and it's a war.
As far as the interviews go, we have questions about what kind of work the bands do outside of music, the lifestyle, what makes each band different, the stage personas, that sort of thing.
How do you feel about other bands ripping you off?
I don't know if they rip us off. I can't hear anybody that sounds like us.
Don't you hear the bands on the radio?
Yeah, I hear it, but I don't hear that much Aerosmith as other people do. Aerosmith to me is really definitive.
There's also a question posed to everyone on the position of women in the scene at that point.
I don't think people take girls seriously in this sort of music. I don't know why that is.
Because there hasn't been anybody to prove that girls can really, really rock.
Can girls play rock and roll as good as guys?
You bet.
You might be one to watch this for how informative it is on the glam and rock scene in Los Angeles. But if you're like me, then you'll watch it for the hilarity. There is one funny moment after another, after another. For one thing, some of the transitions are laughable.
We're a rock and roll band. We love what we do.
So you're in it for the music?
I'm in it for the money.
Faster Pussycat has song lyrics such as, I got your number off the bathroom wall. Sounds like a Mystic Spiral song. One of the most memorable parts of the movie is when Ozzy is making breakfast. While he's talking, he uncontrollably shakes and spills the orange juice.
And what happened with Black Sabbath? We all ended up junkies and alcoholics and everything. Drugs, they were okay at the time, but we outgrew them, We just, we took LSD, we took cocaine, we took vast amounts of marijuana. It was fun at the time, but then we all just sort of it's not a very good idea anymore.
It was admitted later that this was staged, but it's great nonetheless. Another iconic moment is Chris Holmes from Wasp floating in a swimming pool while going on these drunken, miserable tirades in front of his mother.
What do you think you're going to be doing 10 years from now?
I'll probably be dead. You can come see my graveyard.
Do you think that maybe this kind of, rock and roll lifestyle is hard on you and maybe that's why you drink?
Well, I'm a full-blown alcoholic. And why I drink is because, what?
Kind of heartbreaking. At least it is until you find out that some of the contents of the bottle was water. It makes me wonder how much of this movie wasn't exaggerated. Some of the club owners have screen time too. The Cat House features some big bands, and the owners have their way of getting the sexy women in the club.
Describe some of the girls that come in here.
A lot of blonde girls come here, a lot of girls that look like they come out of Russ Meyer's films. They don't wear much clothes at the Cat House. We have this policy of never really keeping the air conditioning on, so it gets really hot, so it's like they show a lot of flesh here.
I mean, I've seen girls walking around in garter belts and bras.
I know, I like that.
Meanwhile, we have Gazzari's. Sure, he'll have some up-and-coming bands playing, but he also does this rock and roll dance contest. Bill Gazzari is pretty amusing to watch. He frequents the club, and he's a dirty old man.
You walk around the club all the time with these 18-year-old girls, and people ask you how you do it, right? What do you say?
I liked 18-year-old girls when I was 18. I love them now.
If you watch The Decline 2 for its comedic moments, then surely you also watch it for the moments that make you go, oh, yeah. As a Motorhead fan, seeing the Rainbow Bar and Grill is just priceless. Plus, as much as I love Ace Frehley, seeing this guy wear a Frehley's Comet shirt is just fucking cool. Big icons of rock and metal are seen in their younger days. You can actually understand what Ozzy is saying.
We got ripped off for lots of money in the early days, but we didn't care. We were seeing America, we were having fun, screwing as many groupies as we could, smoking as much dope, getting just out of it in general. Basically having a good time.
Then you have moments that make you scratch your head. Odin sounds like Guns N' Roses, and more specifically, their singer sounds like the crossbreeding of Dr. Roxo and Axl Rose.
Shake a trip into the city, watching everything because of me. My girl's lovely, but it's a new girl on the scene.
And what is a probation officer doing here?
This right here is a collar that is worn around the neck. And also it could prevent any kind of chokehold if you get involved in a riot and the police are trying to contain the situation.
Oh, she's there to talk about the youth and their connection to the music. Okay.
Back in Control is an organization that is designed to show parents how to regain control of the child's behavior. One of the things that we have found, which we call demeddling, is...
Wait! What did you just say?
Which we call demeddling, is a program that actually gets the kid out of heavy metal. We have certain rules. Removal of heavy metal albums or tapes, not allowing the child to dress in any style of heavy metal, not allowing him to wear the heavy metal t-shirts that depict the band members with pictures of monsters or skeletons or whatever, graves on them.
You fucking monster!
Do you think Ozzy is a, messenger of the devil?
Some of the bands on the bill are well established and known, but a few of them you probably wouldn't know about unless you saw the movie. These smaller bands have this dream of getting huge and living large, but some of them broke up after the movie, and others weren't dedicated or good enough to be on top.
What if you don't make it as a rock star?
Oh, I will.
But what if you don't? In 10 years, what are you going to be doing?
See, I will, though, see.
Critics would later claim that the movie helped kill glam. Maybe the lifestyle caught up to these bands. Even in the movie, the ones who were going clean found it tedious. It's also possible that people who saw The Decline 2 were turned off by the amount of superficiality and excess shown. This material lifestyle reinforces the title, The Decline of Western Civilization. You could look at it as commentary on how a society shapes self-destructive behavior, or you can not be a tight ass and enjoy the fun while it lasts. After all, we have some really well shot and edited live footage. But there's also Megadeth. Slightly out of place here because this is an actual metal band and not glam or hard rock. But that's the one hope the subtitle The Metal Years has going for it. Plus the Megadeth guys are professional acting here and not completely brain dead like some of the other bands.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, a band should go up on stage and play for themselves, not having to put makeup on and stuff like that.
Yeah, I want to stay at a street level because then I don't have any, pretentious values in life and I don't start writing music just for the dollar sign.
In My Darkest Hour ends the movie brilliantly, and dare I say with the most exciting concert footage out of all of it. Well, that was fun. Whatever your opinion might be on 1980s glam or hard rock, this documentary was really entertaining and informative. I walked away feeling enlightened. Now it's time for me to write songs about drinking and partying all day. Rock and roll all night, motherfuckers!